Hey, what's up guys? Come and join me as I share with you my emergency medical technician training in Baguio City. Hey, what's up guys? It's John here, and if ever hindi nyo alam, I currently concluded my emergency medical technician training or my EMT training in Baguio City. That was approximately that had 6 weeks online training and 3 weeks na face-to-face in Baguio City siya. So the training was conducted by PhilHealth Training Center or the Philippine Health Emergency Medical Services Training Center. Ata, sana tama. So, PhilHealth, hello, big shout out. They were very caring. Ano ba? Basta mabait. I love the training and makikita mo talaga na they really know what they're doing. And syempre, they are providing a high standard of training sa kanilang mga students. So, ayun. Before we get right into my journey, ano nga ba ang isang EMT or ang isang emergency medical technician? So, an emergency medical technician is a pre-hospital care providers na considered talaga as professionals. A pre-hospital care provider, medical professionals, especially sa ibang bansa. So, EMTs are the ones who provide patient assessment, interventions sa pre-hospital care environment. So, pag sa labas ng hospital, may mga nurses tayo, may mga doctors, everything. So, sa labas ng hospital, yung mga sumasak sa ambulansya, ay kailangan mga at least EMT man lang sila. Well, in our case in the Philippines, at least EMR or emergency medical responder. So, may hierarchy din kasi sa pre-hospital care. So, pag sinabing pre-hospital, so from the word pre and then hospital. So, bago dumating yung patient sa hospital, syempre, may care na tayong provide para mag-prolong ang life ni patient or ng kahit sino mang nangangailangan na tulong. No? So, emergency medical technician. So, dati, I started as an EMR on emergency medical responder. Now I trained as a emergency medical technician basic. So after the emergency medical technician basic, ang katapos naman nun ay advanced. No, emergency medical technician advanced, and then andun na si paramedic na rin. Ayun, so ay para sa mga gusto na mag-EMTs, I highly recommend it. Kasi kumbaga lalo sa mga nurses, ER nurses, para hindi niyo po kami inaaway pag sa hospital kung bakit yung ginawa namin, because that's what we're trained to do with the lack of diagnostic equipment, lack of equipment lalo sa Pilipinas, advanced equipment. Hindi naman full equipped lahat ang ambulances natin to provide a very high standard ng care or very magandang kagamitan. So kumbaga syempre lahat yan through the resourcefulness ng EMTs natin. So syempre ibang-iba ang practice. Ibang-iba po ang practice sa emergency, sa pre-hospital care environment and sa in-hospital care. In in-hospital care, you have your nurses, doctors, syempre very regulated, very rigorous, very strict ang protocols natin. And kadalasan naman, you do not do anything without a doctor's order. Diba? Ayun yan. Without a doctor's order, lahat ng kahit anong gagawin mo, kailangan order ni nurse. And iba ang practice, diba? Pero sa pre-hospital care environment, kasi you do not have that, they call this, you do not have the freedom, the luxury. Ayun, luxury. You do not have the luxury na to call a physician. Diba? A doctor talaga anong gagawin. So, right and then there, critical moment, mostly nilabot ng EMTs is critical talaga. So, ikaw na ang mag-decide lahat ng treatment na gagawin mo as long as it's legal, syempre. Nagagawin mo sa labas para ma-save yung buhay ng isang pasyente. For example, magsiswero ka, swero na. Ikaw na. As long as you're certified. As long as certified, you insert your IV, you open a line, you administer any drugs, or syempre, kung may medical direction kayo, may offline medical direction, which is yung kumbaga medical directives na sinasabi na pwede mong gawin to, you can do that. Unlike in the hospital, kailangan mo pa rin talaga sumunod sa mga doctors or physicians mo. So, that's a short background on EMTs. If you have any questions, chat nyo ako, message, anything through my social media pages. So, let's move on to my EMT training. So, ayun. Ano nga ba ang nangyari sa EMT training ko? So, I enrolled February pa ata or March. I forgot na when we started. Pero I just provided a down payment. Tapos, nasama na ako sa orientation, sa online class, and everything. Ganun. So, we had the online class for 6 weeks that every Wednesday to Saturday. Wednesday to Friday talaga siya. Pero at times when we do not have, or when we cancel classes, online classes in any of those days from Wednesday to Friday, na-move kami na Saturday pag kulang. So, yung buong class namin is actually 7 lang kami. Actually, dapat 9 kasi 9 talaga kami. Pero nung nag-face-to-face kasi 7 lang naka-attend. So, we are 7. Batch 31, no? So, batch 31 po kami ng PhilHealth Learning Center EMT Training. Batch 31, Torsade po. Diba? Yun ang batch name, Torsade po. So, we are 7. No, kumbaga, online training, syempre, kasi hindi mo pa kakilala lahat. So, marami. May nurses, may practical nurses, nursing aides, may EMS practitioners. So, yun yung mga kasama ko talaga sa training. And then, we were given a Canvas account, no? So, kumbaga, buti na lang din yung school ko is Canvas gamit. So, I'm quite familiar with the platform. And then, ano lahat ng materials from the ebooks to the handouts. So, grabe. Maganda siya. So, kasi kumbaga kompleto din. Although, I cannot print out the ebooks kasi ano lang siya. So, it's restricted to be printed out. So, ang pinted ko na lang is yung mga handbooks. So, ayan. You can see, ito po ang inaral namin for those 6 weeks, 3 days online. And every week, guys, may ano siya. May exam, may quiz, may 10 quiz. And then, siguro total ng buong exams namin, siguro naka 1,000 items siya. So, eto, mamaya ko nakaprint ito. But this one is, dahil medyo tipid tayo sa budget, pinrint ko siya ng 2 pages per bond paper kasi sayang din naman and very, ano pa naman siya, no? It's readable. Nakikita pa naman siya. So, nababasa ko siya na maayos, nakapag-notes naman ako. So, ayan, 2 pages. And then we have chapter 1, ito chapter 1 to something, and then we have ito chapter 15 hanggang chapter 34. So, ano nga ba yung naman ito? So, syempre, dito EMS systems. Ang EMS systems, so safety, ano ba meron dito? Syempre, medical and electrical issues. We have your ANAFI, your anatomy and physiology. Syempre, very basics lang yan. So, listening and moving, tas management, airway, oxygen administration. Lahat andito. Actually, tapos syempre, may mga trauma na, may mga, andito na yung traumatic emergencies, medical emergencies, hindi ko talaga siya love. Kasi, more on trauma talaga ako. Pero medical emergencies, you have neurological emergencies. Ano pa ba yun? Di ba nakalimutan ko na yun lang naalala ko sa medical. Medical, syempre, andyan si cardiac. Saan yung medical? So, ayan, si medical. Your neurological emergencies. You have, ano ba ito? You have GI, neurologic, gastrointestinal. So, tapos, endocrine, hematological, tapos, di ba ang daming chapters, may immunological pa, tapos, toxicology, tapos, ba to? Psychiatric, tapos, basta marami, trauma, anything, trauma, nakaka-trauma, mag-EMT time, joke lang. So, you have your trauma. Siyempre, we have our, naka-divide din siya, may head, neck, and spine, you have your bleeding, iwahiwalay siya, anything type of traumatic, you have soft tissue injuries, may burns, may childbirth, may everything, andito lahat. Ayan, head and spine, ano. Pero masaya naman siya. It's very fun actually. Abdominal injuries, so anything na may force or trauma sa katawan. So that is your trauma. And, ayun, ano pa ba? Siyempre, BLS, Basic Life Support. So, ayun, very master naman na natin. Pero I want to share na iba-iba ang guidelines ng mga ng BLS. Kasi si ILCOR, si International Liaison for Cardiac, lagay ko na lang dito, ILCOR. Tapos sila ang International Liaison Chuchu. Tapos may European kasing standards, may American standards, may international Red Cross standards. So, lahat naman siya international. Pero, there are slight differences sa procedures nila. Si AHA kasi, or American Heart Association, is iba kay Red Cross, iba kay European standards. So, I've been practicing as a safety services, basic life support, first aid with basic life support and AD instructor for Philippine Red Cross of Asia. So, I'm very familiar kay Red Cross. I've been teaching it select DEMS. So, ngayon, nakita ko kay AHA, though okay naman siya kasi nag-exam kami dun kay AHA and I got one thing wrong. I forgot to ask my instructors kung ano yung mali ko kasi I'm very intrigued ano yung mali ko dun sa ano na yun. Pero, one of the top pa din. Diba? Pero ayun, may mali akong isa. That's over 25. I only got 24. Basic life support. So, medyo na ano pa rin ako. Kasi as an instructor, ina-assume ko na perfect ako. Well, hindi ko maisip ko ano yung mali ko na yun. So, ayun. After that 6 weeks, so we've been given a chance to see each other sa face-to-face namin, which was held on the last weeks of May. So, pero dahil sa makita ko ng mas maaga, I need to fix something and do some official businesses in Baguio. Nauna ko ng 1 week. Kasi 3 weeks talaga siya dapat. They cut it down to 2 weeks to provide sa mga sa mga working namin. And lahat din kami busy, so hindi naman makaya yung 3 weeks na straight. So what we did was, 2 weeks kasi we are 7 nga lang, no? 7 lang talaga. Yung last batch daw ay like 30. So 7 kami. So, di ba? Ang dami. So, ang dami nila nung kami ang contest. So, pinakasya naman, we've been taught well. And pinakamasaya ko doon, ano pa ba? Yung skills na. Intravenous therapy, ginagawa ko na talaga sa NEMR. Intravenous therapy, pag-bleed extraction for blood donation sa blood bank. So, syempre, anong BLS, ginawa pa rin namin. And then, airway management. So, we were taught, actually, pinahapayawan lang. It's not a practice of an EMT. Hindi to practice ng EMT unless you're certified for ACLS. No, yun yung tinitake ko ngayon, which is Advanced Cardiac Life Support, na mag-intubate. So, you use your laryngoscope, and then you place a tube down on the patient's trachea. No, you'll be breathing right there, hindi lang sa bibig. So, intubation, na-feel din namin, nagagawa naman. And medyo less invasive is the LMA, yung iGel. So, iGel kasi yung brand, yung product. So, what type of device is that? Is called in LMA or a laryngeal mask airway. So, kasi kino-cover niya yung larynx dito. Lahat yun, and then you breathe it. No, hindi siya pinapasok. So, less invasive than a intubation, than endotracheal intubation. So, before that, syempre, you have your OPA and your NPA, your oropharyngeal airway, and your nasopharyngeal airway. So, kumbaga, airway adjuncts siya para ma-maintain na open yung airway, may access tayo sa airway ni patient. Kasi number 1 yan sa EMS and sa lahat naman is your ABC. No? You have your airway, tapos your breathing, and then your circulation. So, ayun, ginawa namin. So, makikita nyo, ang dami naming airway devices nung time na yan. So, ginagawa namin, intubate talaga. Tapos, lahat pini-skills demo namin sa kanya. Ayun nga, patient assessment na pumatay sa amin kasi ang haba-haba nung return demonstration niya, as in, like, ang daming checklist, ang daming ginagawa. Well, it's all part of our training para mapaglabas namin sa field. We are codependent, we are confident, and syempre, highly trained individuals sa kami paglabas na kung saan kahit talaga namin tumulong and makapag-provide ng maayos at efficient na pre-hospital care. So, syempre, other than that, kasama sa airway pala natin yung pag-provide ng oxygen, no? So, kumbaga, marami kaming nalaman, computations and everything. Splinting, na ginagawa na rin naman, pero we have been trained to use different and much more advanced type of immobilization devices, no? So, kumbaga, that's splinting. We've used vacuum splint, traction splint, SAM splint. We've been taught to use on how to use those different types of splinting devices. So after that, and siguro yung pinakamasaya na ginawa namin within the training center was the cricothyroidotomy, which is a last resort management or access sa airway ni patient. Yung binibutas yun dito. So we had to use a blade. So kumbaga, sterile technique pa siya, iodine, a blade, we've been taught, and then yung crack kit. So, pinapasok siya dito, binubutas talaga if compromised na yung airway sa taas. Hindi, we can't access through any much less invasive na ways. So, tinuro din siya. So, we can assist and we can, if ever na wala talagang choice, and sabi ni Doc, we're trained to do that. Sige, yun, masaya siya. And then, siguro yung paramedic level na isa pa is yung needle decompression, which is used for a tension pneumothorax. So, kumbaga, if the sa area ng lungs mo, nakahangin yung labas ng lungs between the rib cage and yung yung lungs mo. So, hindi na mag-inflate yung lungs mo. So, kumbaga, we need to release air inside, we need to release air inside dun sa negative space dapat dun sa lungs. So, what we do is we insert a 12 gauge large bore needle sa may 5th intercostal space ng ribs, and alam ko 1 to 2nd mid-clavicular dito sa may sana tama yung sinasabi ko. Mid-clavicular, so tutusok siya needle, may cannula siya para siya malaki pang suero. So kumbaga yung pang suero na yon, may cannula, pasok mo yung needle, and then when you hear a pop, release siya, so tinutusok siya. So ayan, nakita nyo, ginagawa ko yan ngayon sa video. And then, syempre, outside, yung additional trainings, pinakamasaya, you have your incident command system na ako ang nag-stand as incident commander nung return demo na na-explain yung aming plan, which is, ang scenario dyan ay gumuhong part ng bahay kasi nga Baguio siya, prone to landslide. So, landslide, and we need to retrieve, I believe, 7 to 10 patients sa loob. So, we were tasked na incident commanders on scene, sino magde-delegate ng task. So, it's the incident commander. So, ano yung mga gagawin namin? So, saan ilalagay ang ambulansya? Saan yung command center? Saan pinakalat hospital? So, we need to identify and then place those resources strategically, no, para maayos. And then, after that ICS, training, yun nga, in-explain sa amin, and then, kinalitik. So, medyo okay naman daw yung namin. And then, yung ginawa sa labas na masaya is rappelling. So, our single rope technique siya for emergency responders. So, it's a rope access kung saan tinuruan kami mag-descend lang sa mga buildings. Ala pa yung rescue with the patient, ala pa yung ganun-ganun. So, that's an additional training that we are going to attend, and I'm going to share with you guys the soonest, pag kaya. So, yun, tinuruan kami mag-rope rescue technique. Makita nyo, bumababa ako from the top. So, it's maybe 50 feet siguro. So, we need to descend using a single rope. Tapos, syempre, naka-attach kami. So, rappelling siya pababa. No? So, masaya siya. Maraming ginagawa. And then, I actually went 2 to 3 times noon kasi masaya nga siya. And then, konti lang kami. So, yung rotation, medyo mabilis. Pwede namin ulitin. And then, yung next naman is our swim and survive na wala akong masyadong picture. So, ito lang ata yung natidang video or documentation namin ng swim and survive. So, malala siya. I love the swim and survive, pero to be honest, ako ata, hirap na hirap ako dun. Kasi I like the water, I like playing around, pero yung actual swim na hindi ako ganun kagaling. So, even though with our flotation devices, no? So, kumbaga, personal flotation device namin. So, kumbaga kahit may gano'n, hindi man lumulubog, pero syempre, as responders, kailangan ko na kaming rescue nung gano'n. So, medyo hirap ako doon. So, pero masaya. Overall, it was happy. So, we needed to go down somewhere in Benguet. I forgot if it's Itogon or Atok. I forgot. Basta, pakita ko sa inyo yung location somewhere here. So, doon kami bumaba. So, we had to do that rappelling. Kasi syempre, on our last day, we had to do our camping, and a boot camp na siya. So, it's a whole day boot camp. Nag-camp kami. We conducted this series of team building exercises, no? So, you can see, so kung saan nabasa kami, naputikan, nag-ikot, grabe, no? We had to do these exercises as a team, and kumbaga, develop our connections, no, with other people. So, kumbaga, para masanay kami. Kasi in pre-hospital care, totoo naman yun, it's a collaboration, it's a teamwork, it's a coordination. Hindi pwedeng solo-solo kapag pre-hospital care at emergency. So, kailangan tulong-tulong kayo. You need to know how to work well, you need to listen, at you need to know how to listen, and you need to know when to take command. Okay, so yun. So, if you're not in command, usually you listen. If you're in command, you should know how to take command properly. So, ayun nga, nakatali yung mga kamay namin dyan. And then, We had to cook noodles, no? Magkakasama kaming 10. And then, this other one, we need to, ginagawa sa mga team building daw talaga, is yung mga nilulusot sa rope ng hindi nadidikit yung rope sa mga, hindi nadidikit yung katawan mo to the side ng rope. So, these are different ways, no? Kung baga paano namin ginawa, basta nilusot namin sila, tinapos yan. So, ayan, no? And then, natapos, we were very thankful. And then, ayun, pagod naman. And before that, we had to do our scenario pala na ako ang naging patient. Very nakakapagod. As a patient, stressful siya. Kasi, kumbaga, feeling mo, kailangan in character ka. So, I got to be the patient na rescue nila from somewhere down sa bangin, ganun talaga pababa. So, they had to rescue me, extricate me from the scene, and then provide care after. So, grabe, dami nagaganap. 6 rescuers, dami. Ikakikot sila sa akin. They had to do everything they need to do at an actual patient. No? So, kumbaga, ganun ka-rigorous ang training ng isang EMT. So, we've successfully completed naman all of those trainings, and then we actually graduated on our last day. As you can see here, kung saan kinakamay-kamayan na bawat kasama namin. And then, we had the opportunity I had the opportunity to take selfies, and then, syempre, grabe. Grabe talaga ang EMT training natin sa Baguio. So, ayun, if you wanna join or take this EMT training, so, ayun, approximately 25,000 to 30,000 pesos magagastos nyo for the training itself. And then, other expenses, syempre, pag lalayo kayo, like in Baguio, you need to prepare for accommodations, your daily meals. So, ayun, that's a rough estimate, and in the duration of the training was 50,000 pesos, more or less. So, medyo magastos siya, but it was worth it kasi EMT na tayo ngayon. So, may EMT na dulo pa natin, Emergency Medical Technician, basic. So, hopefully, I'll get to train as an advanced EMT, though yung additionals kasi siya, halos advanced yung mga binigay sa amin, pero kaya it was super worth it. So, if you wanna check out PhilHealth Learning Center, I'll drop a link on the and of course their FB name. You can follow, you can train, and then next time I'll prepare for you more training videos, and hindi man training videos, will prepare actual responses, actual duties na ginagawa na namin as an EMT together with Legion of Humanity Philippines in their emergency medical services or emergency response force. Medyo nagmamadali tayo kasi palobat, napa-full ang memory. So ayun guys, wala naman ako share pa. I'll share all the other na nakalimutan ko sa next videos, and it's a goodbye for now. So, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.